All right, welcome back. So we are going to be continuing with our lab 10 practical for the cyber security and the cyber security this project that was given under privilege escalation and privilege management for resources in your company. So for our lab 10, we will be focusing on searching for the SUID and the SGID files. So for this lab, we are going to create a PEM demo .txt file with some text in it. We're going to put some random text in it, whereby after that we are going to be viewing the result, and that is where we put the text in it. We are going to set the I and A attribute and view the result later. So we are going to be using our any text editor of our choice to be able to perform this task. So we'll first of all start by choosing one text editor. So for me, my favorite text editor is VS Code. So I'm going to open my VS Code directly. So let's just go ahead and quickly create our text file. So I'm going to go ahead and create my text file palmdemo.txt. So as you see, yeah, this is my text file that I created. So I'm going to open my VS Code, and here you see this is the file I created earlier. So it reflects the desktop directory. So as you said, we are going to write any message of our choice. So I'm going to write the message, hello everyone, this is a cybersecurity project to help your company against cyber attacks like privilege escalation attacks. Alright, so this is a random message I've written in the text. So as you said earlier, so we are going to simply view the extended attributes of the file. Alright, so to do that, I'm going to go to our terminal. Simply close this, or as I can decide to use the local terminal. I'll just use the local terminal on our VS Code, and we're going to use the command sudo change attribute, and we're going to give a new attribute dash a to the file created. So I'm going to press enter. So as you see, we are able to change the attribute correctly. So we'll go again, attribute of the file that. So now we are going to search, we're going to try to search for some attributes. So we are going to try to override or delete some attributes in the file. So I'll use the command echo. I want to override the file txt. So when I press enter, I get the permission permitted, permission denied. So you see now I cannot override any file in this directory. So this is important because there are some certain resources in your company whereby you know want, if let's just say for example there's a certain breach and there's certain leakage, you will not want the any user to be able to read or edit that resource. So these are some of the security measures you can actually put in place. So now if I try that same command now as a sudo user, and you see I still don't have root password. Why? Because I set it at, it was set such a way that you don't have the root password to be able to do that. So if I can still go ahead to remove the file. So if I try removing the file, you can see I still don't have the permission to do that. Why? Because of the attributes that I set up earlier, the permissions that I set up earlier for that file. So presently as the file is, you can only read the file, you cannot be able to delete even as a admin user. So this is a very powerful security measure. So let me try removing the file again as an admin. So if I try removing the file as an admin using the sudo admin remove admin command, let me try it here. If I try doing that, enter the password, you see I still don't have the permission to do that. So now I've set, the file has been set up by setting the attributes in such a way that even as a good user, as far as the file has been created, the file can no longer be destroyed again. So this is a very powerful way of implementing a security measure. So now we are going to append something to the file. So we are going to go ahead to this, append some random text into that file. So we are going to use the command echo. I want to append the line, append to the line of the file. So this is the name of the file. So as you see, it works perfectly. I can only add into the file based on the permission that was set. So if I write nano and the name of the file, that is palm demo.txt, demo.txt. So as you can see here at the last end, you realize that the new message was appended successfully. So you can only add, but you don't have the ability to remove or delete. So I'll go ahead to use another command. You can only add and you cannot delete. Yeah, so it works well. If I write the command, sudo change attribute dash m of the file. See, everything works well. Everything works well. So I can, let me try with another file, and now everything is good. So now everything works perfectly fine. So these are the security measures and such that can be set for different files to enable resources, that is permissions for users to be able to work on that resource or that file. That is, users should not be able to delete the file or edit the file on else or unless the permission has been granted for the users to be able to do that correctly. So now everything works well. I can as well move can try let me try to move the resources in the file to another new file, that is some random file. So when I press enter, you see it works well. If I do that with sudo move from this to this, so I enter my password. Now you see no such directory as spam.dis. So you see everything is working perfectly. If I go ahead, I enter the command sudo line dis to the directory dis, put in my password. You see you get the field access privilege. And if I write nano our some file we created where we push everything there, some file.txt. Now you see everything that was found in the palm found the palm demo file has been moved to the some file.txt file. So that's some of the informative things that we can actually do. So for our lab 11 project, what is required for us is we are encouraged to create a shared group directory. That is, on our virtual machine we can create a sales group, a shell group. That is, each and a we can be able to group users in different groups for different accesses. So I'm going to first of all create the group. I will simply clear my screen. So we are going to create our group, and the name of the group we are going to give the group sales based on the lab given. So the name of our group is going to be sales. Put in my password. So now our group has been created. So I'll simply go ahead to create some random users, and I'm going to add them to our group. So I'll create the first user. Our first user's name is going to be Mimi. So I'll create a user Mimi, and I'm going to add the user Mimi to our group that we created above. So I'll do that. I'll create another user Migrate. I'll create another user Migrate, and I'm going to add to the group. And lastly, I'll create a user called Mommy. So you see sudo add the user to the group cells, the username Mommy. So I'm going to give it the root privileges to perform the task. And now, after doing all of this, I'm going to I'm going to go ahead to create I'm going to go ahead to create a shared directory, that is /home that Mimi should be able to share the same directory with the group. So this is the function of the command, sharing the directory such that a user can be able to access a directory on another account that belongs to another user. That is the sense behind all of this. So you can have a company, and maybe you have a manager, and the manager account, you have the manager's account and you have the accountant's account. So there's a certain resource that the manager will always have to go into the accountant's account and verify or check on, and to get to check on the updates of that resource in the accountant's account. So the manager now, you as the administration or the security expert, you are going to grant the manager access not to the account of the accountant, but to the resource, the specific resource that the manager needs in that account. So that is the idea behind this implementation that I'm performing here. So I'm actually granting the home directory of the Mimi's account to the shares group. That is, everyone should be able to access the home directory of the user Mimi. So that is the idea behind all of this. So as you see, everything works well. So now I'm going to go now ahead to create all the shells directories as required. So to do that, I'm going to first of all make the directory cells. So I'll make our directory cells. I'll grant that directory some privileges. That is, I'm going to change ownership of that directory to nobody. That is, nobody should have ownership on of over the group directory. That is, the group directory should belong to everybody or should belong to nobody. That is what I'm trying to set up. So now simply press Control Continue. Then now I've set the permission. I will simply also enable the permission 3770 for the same directory, sales directory. Then I'll go ahead to verify. I'll go ahead to verify this directory. So now you can see these are the different permissions that are assigned. So nobody can be able to it belongs to nobody or it belongs to everybody. So this was the date that this was actually assigned to, and this is the directory that this permission was assigned. So the verification is okay. So what I'll simply do is I'm going to navigate into the Mimi's account. So I'm going to try to log into Mimi's account. So earlier I didn't create a password, so put I'll just press OK since I did not create a password. Alright, I'll just log in as admin. Okay, so I'll try to add a password for Mimi. So I'm going to simply do some configurations. I'm simply going to disable some password policies that was created earlier. X. I'm going to nano slash etc nano slash etc slash password config. So I'll sudo nano slash etc slash password config, enter my password. I'm going to disable this line that was created above. I will save my work, clear my screen. Alright, so now I'm going to um create a password for the user Mimi. So I'm going to create a password for the user Mimi, enter my root user and give a password for Mimi. Alright, so the password has been created. Now I'll try to log in into the account Mimi, enter her password, and now I'm in. So now that we have a shared group directory called the sales directory, I'll try to change it to the sales directory, and now I'm into the sales directory. So echo I can decide to echo a message. Yeah, I can decide to echo a message. This belongs to Mimi. the file mimi.dat. So now you see it works well, everything is working well. I can list -l -l. So you see the file is working, everything is working perfectly. So now Mimi has access to that resource. So everything is good and everything is working correctly. So I can still go ahead to so as you see, as Mimi can able to access that directory, she can be able to see all the resources that are found there, and Mimi can be able to set other privileges to that directory, the shared group. So Mimi can set privileges as well to the directory. As you see, everything works well. You can be able to perform other um resources. You can be able to perform other commands like set facts, set user, the user migrate, set user, this user access to this resource. She can be able to do that, and she can be able to able to perform check the owner of that resource. Like you see now the command here, I'm checking the owner of this file. So now you can see the owner of the file, Mimi is the owner, the group, the resources, the user, somebody that can use. These are people that can use the file. So Maggie, the user Maggie can have the permission to read that file from her own account. So you see everything is working well. So this has been set up correctly, and now Maggie has the permission to access only that directory in Mimi's account and read the file. That's all, and that's all the resources, or that is all the privileges that Margaret has over account of Mimi. So everything is working well. You can as well decide to navigate to Margaret's own account to do the testing. So migrate to if you navigate to Margaret's own account. Okay, so Margaret does not have a password. Let me see. Um, okay, I'll simply go ahead to set up a password for Maggie. All right, so good password. The password for Maggie. I'm going to simply give a password for Maggie. All right, so the password for Maggie has been set up. So I'm going to try to log into Margaret's account. So now I'm into Margaret's account. So if I try to change to the sales directory, that is the sales directory, as you see earlier, see the final found. So excuse me, change to the sales directory. Sales directory. All right. So now I'm into the sales directory. As I'm able to access the sales directory belongs to Mimi in the account of Magri. But now if I try, let me try to create a file, Mimi file. Or let me try opening the file Mimi file.txt. This is the file found in that account. So you see here it shows the file belongs to Mimi, as you can see. So Maggie does not have the privilege to do anything. Maggie, if I even try to append a new message or to that file, you see that I cannot be able to access. Like now I want to enter the message, I want to add something to the file Mimi. So now you see I cannot be able to do that. The permission has been denied because the file does not belong to me. The only thing I can be able to do is only thing I can be able to do is okay. So for Mr. Gray, if I try to do that for the Mr. Gray account that was accessed. So you see, I'm able to succeed because this Mr. Gray file was the permission was accessed was granted to me, so I can be able to perform some tasks. But now that Mimi's file, the Mimi file in that group does not belong to me, so I cannot be able to perform any privilege or any action. So now if I list all the resources, you realize that for the Mimi file belongs to Mimi and Mimi can be able to do all of this. Then for the Mr. Gray's file belongs to Maggie. So that was why I was able to append the message above on the file. So if I if I if I I can still decide to open the file and check, you realize that everything is working well. That is, Maggie was able to perform a task on this file. But now this file Maggie does not have the pack, but all of them belongs to the same group. Now this and a simple implementation of how of what you can actually do. So as I earlier explained, in the real world, the manager accessing resources of the accountant's account, specific resources that the manager have only access to, but the manager will not have access to the rest of the user's resources, but you have access just to that particular resource in that account. So these are some security measures that us as cyber security engineers we try to put in place. So I'll simply exit and we are going to move to our next lab. So for our next lab, that is lab 12,